My name is Justin Nelson. I started Fernweh Woodworking 3.5 years ago, and I do small batch custom modern furniture. So I first heard about Origin probably 2.5 years ago, and it was part of their pre-order campaign. And I think a friend sent me a video to it, and I instantly became intrigued by what it could do for me, because as you know, it's pretty limited space in our shop. I couldn't fit a big CNC in here, nor do I really have need for a big CNC, nor the money. And so I was curious what it could do for me to offer me some of that capability without, you know, the huge price tag or the footprint. So I just became more and more curious, and I couldn't stop thinking about it, and I put money down for the pre-order campaign, I think just a couple days after I first saw the video. And I wasn't even positive how I was going to use it, but I knew that there would be ways that I could use it. And initially I started using it just for putting my logo on the bottom of tabletops and dining tables. And even if I only used it for that, it would have paid for itself, because I think that's a lot of added value in custom furniture, and people want to see that looking really nice. And so that's what I started, and that's kind of how I learned to use it too. It was a great stepping stone. And then since then, I've been amazed at how many little jobs here and there it's come in so handy on. Most of the shaping for my furniture is really just all hand work, just to get curves consistent and everything. But one way that Origin has really paid off in actual making furniture is on my dining tables. I do kind of a faux through tenon for the leg, so it looks like the leg is coming through the tabletop, but it's actually hiding a big long screw, because the design's very minimal, but I want it to be really sturdy. And so I love the look of that because it looks like it's got a through tenon. But when to do those plugs on top of the table on the four corners, I used to just use a big Forstner bit, and it was a 2-inch Forstner bit. And so doing that by hand, because I couldn't get it over by my drill press, doing that by hand was always scary, because I'm working on an almost finished tabletop, and it's just hard with a bit that wide to not get a little bit of tear out around the edges, or to just twist a little bit and then get a really good plug fit, because then I would go to my metal lathe and turn cross-grain plugs, and that took forever. And so now I use the Origin to do that, and I mark my my little cross point, and then I actually scan the tabletop, and I can see my pencil mark cross point, and I just place 3 circles there, interlocking, and then I just cut my various depths, and it's just so straightforward. Then I go to another scrap piece of wood, I cut my plug, and it's the same result as before, but it's a little bit quicker, and it takes almost all of the stress out of it, which is nice when I'm making a living doing this. Probably the first time when I saw how valuable Origin could be was when I had a dining table and I had faux through tenon of the leg. The end grain plug, I just hadn't made it deep enough and it cracked. And it was just one of those screw ups that you look back on, you're like, oh, that was like the first table I made, and now I need to fix it. And you're not sure how to fix it because it was totally glued in there. The Origin was still really new to me, and I'd only had it, I think, a couple weeks. And I thought, oh, I'll use that and just cut just 0.5 millimeter outside that circle, replace it, and I did that on all 4 of them. And it was incredibly easy. And it was a job that I don't know what I would have done if I hadn't had it, because there was no way to get a chisel in there. I couldn't really drill it because there was a screw in there without destroying a bit. So it was a great solution to something that I don't know how I would have done it otherwise.